Good day, welcome in the I-tab cloud training. In this training, I'll try to explain you how to use the cloud of the I-tab controller. First of all, open a web browser, for example Google Chrome. As URL, you need to put in https://cloud.daikineurope.com. When the cloud is commissioned, a Daikin technician needs to register your email address as login and give you a password. You are able to change the password afterwards. After you have filled in your username and password, you can select your language. For this training, I have put it on English. When this has been done, press Login. In the right upper corner, you will see your login and your role, for example, administrator or user. If you have multiple sites, you will see a drop-down menu with all your installations. This makes it easy to quickly switch between all your installations. Monitor and control. At the left-hand side you can see the button Monitoring and Control. First you select Equipment List. In the equipment list you will see all available units. When pressing on the double arrow in the upper right corner, you will open the General Control panel. With this control panel, you can control all units below. The available functions are on-off, set temperature, mode with the modes ventilation, heating, cooling, dry, automatic. Next to the mode selection you can see the fan speed selection, with the available fan speeds low, medium, high and automatic. Next to this you can see the swing direction. Every swing direction is available. Next to the swing direction you will find the VAM mode selection and the VAM ventilation amount. At the end you can find a quite important button, the Advanced button. Here you can set the maximum limit of the set point. In most installations we put the minimum cooling on 23 degrees and the maximum heating on 23 degrees. With these settings we block the possibility that users put the temperature on excessive high or excessive low set points, which could cause a huge energy consumption. Below the set point limit you can see remote controller prohibition functions. Here we can permit or prohibit the on-off, set point and operation mode buttons on the remote controller. Now we close the general control panel. It is also possible to control only one unit. For this you need to press the unit you want to control, for example kitchen. Here you can individually control the on-off, see the measured temperature, set the set point and change the mode. To be able to change the mode we need to select the master of the mode, and only with this unit you can switch between cooling and heating. The master can be recognized if you can see the sign with the sun and the ice crystal. Then this unit is a master of mode. If you press the Advanced button, you can also individually set a set point limit for every unit. In the cloud it is also possible to create zones. In this example you could select the zone landscape and or the zone meeting room. When the zone is selected you can control the entire zone via the general control panel. Schedule. In the cloud it is also possible to create a schedule. Under the menu Monitoring and Control you select Schedule. To be able to show how to create a schedule, I will go to the schedule of the demo box DAB. First I erase the existing schedule by pressing the red X at the right hand side. Now to create a new schedule you need to press Add a yearly schedule. A new line will appear. First select a color, then give the schedule a name, for example, summer. Then the start date and the end date need to be selected. Finally, press the Save button. Next, actions need to be created. As example, we create a start action. Therefore, you need to press the blue plus at the right hand side. A new line will appear. As name you set start and then push the Save button. Next to the summer, at the left hand side, you can see a blue triangle. Push this triangle and the start line will drop down. Now push the blue plus on the right hand side of the start line. Now we are configuring the action. Set the starting time, select on, followed by the days of the week, the set point and the operation mode. Next, you need to select the units for who the action is intended. When the units are selected, press Update Units. To save this action, press the Save button. Now creating a stop for the evening, we have to follow the same steps, but now we only need to have the on-off button to be off. Now we can create a yearly schedule for different periods of the year. This is now shown in the movie. interlocking. An interlock is an action that can be triggered by another action. For example, when a contact digital input 2 is closed, stop all the units. The contact of digital input 2 could be coming from a burglary alarm that is active when all the staff has left the building. In this case, it is no longer needed that a unit is running. In this example, I will show you how to stop a unit when digital input 2 is closed. First, select interlocking at the left, followed by pushing the new button. Now fill in a name for the interlock, for example, burglary alarm. Next, you need to find the input. Push the Select Units button and select Digital Input Burglary Alarm. Now we have to know when the action needs to be executed. When input closes or opens. In this example, we will program it so if the contact closes, one unit will stop. As trigger, you need to fill in on all management points. This means that all selected inputs need to be activated in order to execute the program. The other possibilities are on at least one management point, off at least one management point, and off all management points. If you want units to be switched off when the contact is closed, you need to select off, and then the unit that you want to be stopped. When all settings have been done, press the Save button. The program can easily be switched on and off with the switch at the right hand side. Data monitoring. In case you have a VRV and you have the option Energy Management, you will have the possibility to select energy data. When selecting energy data, you will see the calculated energy consumption of the current date. If you want to see the power consumption of another day, select the drop-down button of the calendar and select the desired day. The view clearly shows in the blue the power usage in cooling, red is the power usage in heating, and green is the power usage when the unit is in heat recovery mode. Please do notice that the power is calculated power and not a measured power with a kilowatt-h meter. By changing the view from day to week to month or year, you can easily see the amount of power usage during the selected period. The period can be changed with the calendar drop-down button. When selecting data monitoring, you will see a temperature curve of the outside air temperature, indoor temperature, and set point. At the left hand side you can select the indoor unit that you want to see. In the middle you have buttons to change the period of the curve from 1 day to 1 week, 1 month, and even 1 year. With the same drop down button as for energy, you can select the date that will be shown. Multi-site management. If you have multiple installations all over the country, the optional multi-site cloud function is perfect to follow up all your stores or buildings. In the Google Maps view, you can see all the locations from your office and see if they are connected or not. To monitor and control multi-site, you need to go to Monitor and Control, and the left top side you will see all your installations. User administration. In user administration you are able to create new users. Press the New button and enter a name, mail address and password, followed by the role, for example, user. Depending on the type of user, you will have more or less boxes to fill in. If all boxes are correctly filled in, push the Save button. An administrator can add a site to a user. Adding a site to a user is done via Building Administration. Select the site and press the pencil to edit. Here you can add the new user to the building. last button is Zones. Here you can create zones. To add a zone, press the blue plus, give the zone a name, and drag and drop the correct units in this zone. Thank you for following this online training course. I hope this training course has helped you how to manage and control your units on the I-tab cloud.